So whole person was one of our original four core values when we formed Econic, and it's still survived. It comes back to a couple of core principles, though, and that is that I don't believe people exist to serve organizations. I think organizations exist to serve people.
Wow.
And what's core about that is Econic to me has always been a platform for people to continue to understand, discover, and unleash their own potential. And that potential, you have to understand a person as a whole person then to be able to truly understand where they're going. And if you start to hold that as a core belief, that then influences a lot of different practices, right, in the ways of where you're going. So how you get new projects or new clients, a lot of that comes back to, is it connected to a passion or area of growth for one of our team members? uh, Thinking about how we manage our teams. We have a weekly kickoff meeting with the core team, and one of the two metrics that we capture each week is, on a 1 to 10 scale, what's your whole person score? And
Mm.
that's whatever it means to you. For you, it could be
Yeah.
physical, it could be mental, spiritual, whatever. You don't even have to tell me what it is, but where are you
Yeah.
1 to 10 in terms of your whole self coming to work? Because that understanding of how we can be there for each other and how the work leads to that is, work outcomes are important, but this whole person stuff is even over those work outcomes because they end up taking care of themselves. At least that's what we've been able to see in practice.
Josh, that what you just said there was pure gold. That was so good. I think you ought to consider writing a book. Have you ever thought about that? Tell
Well,
us
thank you,
about
Lynn.
tell us a bit more about the book.
Yes, the book does have some of that content in there, and it goes back to what we were talking about a moment ago. What is stopping leaders from embracing some more of these people-centered ideas? And I was talking to all these people who led great, good, people-centered organizations who were also getting great returns on investment. And many of them used the phrase, okay, this sounds naive, but, and then gave some really awesome idea of
Yeah.
what they did. And when I went back and looked at the pattern, I said, why does everybody use this shield of this might be naive?
Yeah.
And what I started to dig into and understand is they were using it as a qualifier, because in the traditional business world, oftentimes things that don't have a pure rational ROI are shunned or looked down
Mm.
upon.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, so many leaders have this kind of innate idea, or maybe even a little voice of what the right thing is to do, but they don't listen to it in those ways. And so that became then the birth of this book, which is literally called Naive, Business Success and Joy Through Chosen Naivete. And so what I explore in the book is this idea of chosen naivete, because uh, through the research, the word naive has actually been hijacked over the last couple of 100 years. It used to
Yeah.
just mean something innate or authentic that was already within you from the start. What I'm hoping to do is show that there is something beyond, right? That there is a
Yeah.
childlike naivete. Then, as we go, and especially in business, we learned that like rational ego, like all the smarts is what makes things happen. There's something beyond that, which I'm calling chosen naivete. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
return back to some of that curiosity and humility and openness to figuring out what things are, but it comes from this innate spot also that at least for me, that I believe people are good, that
Mm-hmm.
people are trying their best,
Mm-hmm.
that people are inherently worthy of trust.
Mm. I'm
And
with you there on all three of those. Yes.
even if those things sound naive, what I've learned is there's a lot of great business leaders who are saying, yeah, I'm going to make good business decisions, and I can hold those types of ideas, and then those start to influence the practices that I have in business. And so that's in essence what the book explores, is not only some of those practices that some people might think are naive, but more importantly, a really easy approach and some exercises to help people really think about, okay, is this really naive, and what beliefs do I hold around this, And what do I lose and what do I gain by holding certain beliefs, in an attempt to hopefully help unlock other more helpful practices in the future.